Welcome to episode 2, season 2 it is. We have Mr. Mark Waldron with us today. We're going to kick off with some on-the-spot questions.
Straight in.
Let's
go.
First question. Where is your favourite place to relax in Liverpool?
Oh, that's a good question. Because half the time obviously live in Wirral these days, so there's loads of good places in Wirral. But in Liverpool, to relax, it'd probably be Shefton Park on a sunny day. I think, yeah. That's where we're doing our events every week, as most people know. But that's a good, it's so big as well. So if you want the hustle and bustle or a quiet field or around the lake, I think that'd be a good spot.
Sweet. Second question. What does the word brand mean to you?
What people say about you when you're not there. Simple as that. It's like, have you got something that people can comment on and can describe and have a feeling about? If you've got something, and hopefully, well, that's stage one, but the second stage is it what you intend it to be?
Okay.
Because people could have a feeling towards
we can dig into that, I think, probably.
We'll definitely dig into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, a good brand is one that's been well thought out and actually works. People do think about it, what you intend.
Mm-hmm. Question 3. Favourite brand to come out of Liverpool or Wirral in the last 5 to 10 years that isn't your own?
I can't say I've got a favourite, but what I will say is I'm a big fan of the multiple fitness brands that are coming out. I've got Velocity top on now. I'm often wearing Red Run stuff. There's obviously Frequency Fitness. I've got some of their stuff. So all these different brands that are Liverpool based, and there's more of them. You know what I mean? Obviously, there's the Montexes of the world and Flux, and there's so many, and you see them all and think these are good brands. They've got good gear, looks good. Loads of people are wearing it, and they're all from Liverpool or surrounding areas. So I think that market of active wear, because that's actually what Move as a brand. It started out in my head as it was going to be like a t-shirt active wear brand.
Okay.
Which it didn't happen, and then it sort of has, but it's not, because we're not going to be in active wear. But we've actually got t-shirts and stuff that people can buy. But yeah.
Cool. We'll go into that as well, because I think activewear is, in Liverpool in particular, is like you mentioned, Frequency, Monterex and stuff. I think other brands from other close cities, like maybe Birmingham, Manchester, I've kind of tried it, but none to the level that Liverpool has. Cool. Last question. What is the biggest challenge in business that you've had to face and overcome?
Personally, in my business, in the current business or just in business in general?
Just in business in general.
In business, I used to have a construction company, and a lot of the jobs we did were for clients renovating properties, building big extensions, loft conversions, all that stuff. And we had one in particular who it went west. And it didn't help that the client never saw eye to eye with us, and the longer it went, at least in my opinion, they weren't a very nice person. Okay. And we ended up losing a lot of money with that job, probably at least 30k, maybe more. So all said and done, it should have been a 4-month job. It took nearly 6 months. They eventually kicked us off site, even though we got to 99% of the job done. It's didn't pay us the last part. And the whole time I worked out, the profits on the job is what we've lost. So if I'd have sat on a couch for 6 months, I'd have been the same off. But instead I had total stress the whole time for 6 months. But look back now, I'm made up. Because
I was going to say, how do you see it now?
It's not. I have no feeling towards it. It's just I used to, if it's even drove near the road in West Kirby, it'd be I'd think that clients and all that. Now it's nothing. It's totally gone. Time's a healer, as they say. But the lessons from it, I've definitely kept that in mind, and I've been able to pass those lessons on to other people where I can see what they're doing, thinking you're doing what I did. Yeah. That's what makes me more of an effective sort of mentor and coach these days, I suppose.
We'll dig into that, because from my experience of business coaches, there generally is so much wisdom, experience, life experience, business experience that brings you to a point where you then start having so much advice. So that's what I want to dig into, because the Mark Waldron that I know is Move, the current business. I don't know, I'm going to speak from my perspective, because I don't know Mark Waldron before that. And I've not come across any content that tells me that either. So that's what I want to dig into. I want to know who Mark Waldron is first and foremost, and then what you what you're doing now. So welcome to the podcast to begin with.
Welcome.
What I want to start with is, I know it sounds so cliche, but I want to know where all of this started for Mark. When you can start when you're younger. What's your earliest memory, and what was it like growing up that has led you to be the Mark we know today?
I suppose I've got this memory in school, actually. I was in junior school. I used to go to a school called Rathbone, which they knocked that school down. I don't know why, because it was like a grade 2 listed building or something in Kensington. But I went to that school, and I don't know if it was every week or every other week, but they'd take us to Picton Sports Centre, and we'd be around the track. And I don't know what they were getting us to do, but I just remember we were always just doing runs and stuff, and it was obviously guided by the teacher. And I must have been at this age maybe 6 or 7 years old. It was I can just about remember. But I remember at this one day, there was the lads that I sort of knew. I was running with them at the same pace they were, and they were like, "What are you doing here?" Well, no, you're not usually with us. As if they're normally you're the slow kid. Where's Mark Waldron running with us? And in my head, I remember thinking "Oh, that's good." I've been recognised as I can run fast. Yeah. I can do something. And that's the first memory I've got of someone giving me a bit of a compliment, and me thinking, "Oh yeah, that's good. I'll win, or I'll try my best."
Yeah.
And since then, I think in life, I've always just been the person. I think put the effort in, put the work in, and not always, because growing up, I've done totally the wrong stuff as a teenager in my 20s. Blasting out video games for hours and hours when I could have worked on a business, but didn't even have the seed planted to know that I could be a business owner.
Yeah.
So you sort of you learn your lessons in life, but throughout my life, even though I've got loads of times where I can clearly see I just totally didn't put the effort in, or I wasn't bothered. The bits where I was bothered, I definitely wanted to be the best and wanted to win.
Yeah.
I wanted to win sports person of the year, for when we left school, and I didn't get it. Someone else won it who probably equally deserved it. But I was I want that. And I remember getting a few records in school, like javelin and discus and all these different things, thinking okay, yeah, I'm getting these records.
Like an achievement,
and there's something I don't know where it's come from. I've never delved deep in to see, is there a particular point that's maybe like that? But I definitely love winning. Don't like to lose. And if I don't mind losing them, that's the difference. I don't mind to lose, but I definitely want to win.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put my efforts in to try and get the best result possible. So even if I don't win, I'm at least put everything
and you
into
can probably reflect on it and take the lessons from it rather than just the win.
Yeah, pretty much. And even, again, playing computer games, I've been playing a computer game, I want to win that.
Yeah.
And even online, in my day, there was no online, but then it transitioned to you could play people online, with PlayStation and stuff. So I was that generation where these days, you're just playing online is normal. I imagine for kids. Whereas for me, that was new. Way I can play with someone in America or Australia. Yeah. And it's I'm going to win. I'm going to beat them. Everything's about winning.
I think it's funny that I think that there's a lot of that in entrepreneurs, isn't there? I know entrepreneurs can be a bit of a dirty word these days, can't it? But I have a similar mindset where I've even thought you go to the barbers and getting your hair cut. I want to be the best client that barber has cut that day. I want to be the easiest that he's had to talk to. I want to be the easiest. I want to move my head when he wants me to. Do you know what I mean? It sounds really weird, doesn't it? But it's kind of what you just said. It's just that drive to win. But I feel like in business, a win isn't always what could be deemed as a win outside of business. A win could be a lesson. A win could be an experience.
Yeah. An
achievement, not necessarily winning coming first.
Yeah, 100%.
Not being the biggest business, not being the biggest business owner, but an achievement.
Yeah, there's an element of life really where you're up against yourself all the time and your previous best. Can I get better? But you're still always against other people. Whether you like it or not, everything in life is a competition. So people who say, I'm not competing with other people, just competing with myself. I'm like, that's bullshit, isn't it? Because if you just try and compete with yourself, if you're not good enough, everybody else doing the same thing you're doing, whether it's in business or trying to be a fast runner or whatever, they'll beat you.
Yeah.
And if it's the difference between earning money, you won't have any money. So you can say you're not up against other people, but you are. And so therefore you've got to make sure you're trying to win.
How do you then, a question for you, how do you separate what you just said in knowing that it's a fact that you are up against people from time to time What for you? How is that separated from comparing yourself to others? How do you see comparing yourself to others?
I don't compare myself to anyone. That's why most of the stuff I've ever done has always been very original. I'm definitely inspired by other people. So if I see someone doing something, oh, that's good. Maybe I could do something similar, but I will never copy, and I'm not bothered about what they're doing. Like, me using a spatula with a mic on the end of it. I've never seen anyone else doing that. I just literally opened jaw one day thinking, I need to interview people tomorrow at Network, and what can I use? The little mic I've got, it only opens like quite thin when you push it. So you can't put it onto anything thick. So I was like, what's thin? And I'm like thinking about it. Found a spatula. And that's just one example of me just going, I'll just roll with that. Back in my construction days, I would do stuff different to other construction companies. Back then, people were getting on social media, but these days, you go to most construction companies, they'll have a social media presence. They'll have a little like blog or vlog or something like that. Back when I was doing it in like 2000, say 16, 17, 18, I was doing it then.
For the construction business?
Yeah, so and then I realised actually I need to go on Instagram with this. So I started on Instagram in about maybe 2000 and I want to say 18 maybe, something like that. Thought I'll start putting this out there. And I'd already been doing it before that, but like on like Facebook. But that account, which was at Waldron Construction, that's still live now. People can go and have a look at it. You can go and look at that and you can see me speaking to the camera, showing the job, saying I'm just on site. And every even learning then, it's like, what's happening, guys? It's like,
so you're looking at this about 10 years ago?
Yeah, nearly. Probably 2018, 19, I was definitely active on it then.
Okay.
The last job
so
we ever did.
Less than 10 years then?
Oh yeah, less than 10 years. But even before that, I did a post not too long ago where I was talking about the very first video I ever uploaded online, or at least to YouTube, because I don't think there's anywhere else but videos before YouTube, but it was 2007. So it's like 19 years ago. And it was me, like, document me gym journey, trying to get big and go to the gym and lift weights. So
that creating content has always been a part of you, hasn't it? Like, without the thought of earning money or building a business off the back of it.
Even before that, and this is strange actually, my mum and dad have just moved house 2 weeks ago, maybe not even that. So I had to clear like the garage out. There was loads of boxes that a lot of them have probably been there like 20, 25 years where you've just never touched them because you just put them there when you moved there and think that maybe I'll open that one day, and you get opened on the day you're moving. I found my very old camcorder, which had like some people would be like, what are you talking about? But a little disc, maybe not quite that big, but probably about the size that. It was like a mini disc. It's got a cassette in. You have to put it in and push it in and record onto it. So I don't even think I can use it or watch it, but I've got a few. I'll look back and see. But even back then, I had a video camera. Yeah. And I'd love taking it on like a holiday or something, or recording stuff and capturing content. So that was before mobile phones have cameras on. Yeah. So I've always been someone that likes the idea of capturing stuff and telling a story and documenting all that. Been doing that for years.
This is the beauty of it, because, like you just mentioned that, I want to see what life was like before the construction company as well. But one thing that's really clear that I think is a really important message is I guarantee people will look at you now on social media and, that old thing of you got it all figured out. You've got this audience, you're great on camera, all this stuff. But in reality, you've been doing it for 19 years. Yeah. And I mentioned we had Jay from Solo Cars on as well, the episode before. And I said to him, like, I actually became aware of him through when you lent a car off him or something and you tagged him. And that's how and I'm thinking, I now know what I see as Jay from Solo. I know Mark Waldron from Move. Jay, that only started with Jay, 2 years ago?
Couple of years,
I'd say, and you've been doing it for 19 years. So this idea of like an overnight success, and I can't do what he's doing because he's great at it. It's just all surface level, isn't it? When you dig deeper,
everything is. There's a reason I've never deleted any content I've got. Everything's on there. So my old YouTube account's still active, even though it's just me working out with a camera that probably doesn't even record as well as a potato would. You know what I mean? It's like very pixelated. There's, what was the question then? I forgot.
It was just about how when people think that they can't do something you've been doing, or so I've been doing that
that like, you know, gym content for years. And then I was very active on LinkedIn when I first went into business in like the early 2010s. And in 2013, I joined BNI, which is a network organisation. And the guy who was running at the time, I remember just saw LinkedIn, and he said, if you're looking for more business and you're not on LinkedIn, you're stupid. And I thought, right, so I'm not stupid, I better get a profile. I remember it at the time, yeah, if you get like 500 or more connections, it'd just say 500 plus.
Yeah, I think it still does now.
I might still say that then. And I was like, I'm on 2, then it was 3, and I was like, can't get to 100. And I remember like, I can't wait to 500. And then just from 2013 to say 2000, and you know, within 3 or 4 years, I was on about 14, 15,000 like sort of connections. And bear in mind, a lot of people are trying to grow it by connecting with people, actively saying let's connect, and hoping that they accept. I never did that. I was just, mine was grew with people who were asking me to connect with them, and me deciding to accept if I wanted.
Was that based on content that you were sharing on there?
Yeah. I was like me, even today's content, I'm there 95% to, I'm a content creator. Or online I am, at least anyway. I'm not actually a content creator. I don't see myself as one. I see myself as a business owner that has to create content.
Yeah.
As part of the brand. But even back then, I was creating content, people following me. And then got to, if I would have done the stuff everyone else is doing, I'd probably be on double those followers. And that was like 10 years ago nearly. But eventually I just stopped doing it. But all the videos are recorded. And we're talking like, me talking to a camera, not even landscape, like that way.
Yeah.
What's happening, guys?
Wouldn't be able to post it as a TikTok now.
Outdoors, windy weather. The very first video I did, I remember, or one of the first, with an iPhone, like in 2016, 17 on LinkedIn. I just thought I'd record a little business tip. This would be boss. And didn't even like watch the video back. Just thought that was boss, posting that. And then the comments like, can't hear you. I was like, what do you mean? So I was like, watched it back, and you could just hear like every 50% of the video was just noise, just like that. I was like, but then what do you think I learned from that? You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah,
look at the conditions.
Audio's important.
Yeah.
And my very first microphone was using the earphones off that.
Yeah.
And the little mic that's on this side.
On this side, yeah, with the
that's
volume.
Actually
and that.
A Boss microphone.
It's better than fucking... It's
a Boss microphone. And I took it down my top, so it'd be just there.
Yeah.
And it could be the windiest ever.
Yeah.
No wind, perfect audio.
Instead of buying the Rode mics, DJIs
but if I was walking, it'd like rub slightly, so you could hear a little...
Yeah.
And then that's me going, okay, well, the audio's Boss, but it's not quite good enough. Then I bought a shotgun mic, which is plug it in.
Yeah.
And it was a Rode one.
A little muffler on it,
little Rode ME. And then eventually got another one, a better version, like a Shure one. And then obviously I got me DJI mics that I use now. So I haven't just gone to like, let's be a great content creator, let's have all the gear, let's just do it
the
properly.
starter pack overnight.
It's literally, took even back 10 years, 2016 or 17 was the first video on even LinkedIn, never mind other platforms I was posting on. So that's a 10-year journey just from like the business side of it.
Yeah.
And again, if you look back, I'm worse then 10 years ago than what people are now, because at least people have got more of an idea of what to post, because they see people like me or you or anyone else posting content.
Just examples out there to...
And all that content's there, so if anyone wants to see how crap I was, they can go back and see.
Do you use that when you work with business owners that you're sort of coaching to get better content and stuff? Do you use your examples as...
Oh yeah, all the time, I show them where I've messed up and why it's important, and I show them what's worked, and therefore that's why we should do it, because it's proven, and it's like a bit of both. So again, that's why failing so many times is the best teacher, and the most successful people have probably failed the most times out of everyone. So my job is just to keep going and going and going. And if I get failures, I don't go, oh, how many failures have I had? I've just gone, that's just part of the day, and I'll learn something from that.
But the success is probably built from what you've learned from the failures.
If you can have 99 failures and have one success that more than tops the other 99, would you be all right failing 99 times to get one amazing success? Like that's it. And that's business in general. Over years, you can not be making money, and it's like, it's okay, and then all of a sudden it takes off. That's just you like plodding along.
The compound, isn't it? Yeah.
And then eventually it takes off. It's like Move, we're doing okay, but we're not a massive company. We're not even 0.01. We're not even 0.001 of the size they can see me head. So we're tiny. So it's like when people go, you're doing all right, Liverpool, it's like this walking group, loads of people. I'm thinking like, I know it's still good, but I'm thinking it's shit. Like, trust me, this is crap. Where I want it to be
versus
is
the vision.
Big. Yeah,
we spoke about that before, because it was all about like surface level. The issue with social media is it's essentially a highlight reel, whether you intend it to be or not.
Yeah.
It's a highlight reel because it's down to how people perceive, and it's the top layer, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think that's a difficult part. I think every business owner experiences that to some level. Like I've definitely experienced it, where it could be like out and about at events. You could be flying somewhere. You could be meeting a client. The office looks great. You got your dog in the office, like all these things, and everyone's like, "Yeah, you're smashing it." And I'm like, well, yeah, it's great, but it's you versus you again, like you mentioned before, isn't it? It's you versus the vision that you've got for what it could be. So it's never going to be, your opinion is never going to be the same as any of us that can see from the outside.
Yeah, and you'll never get there either, because if you're bold enough and ambitious enough to have a vision, an actual vision, when you eventually get near to it, you think we're going to get this. You're then thinking, oh, it's too small. So what's the next? So you'll always have a bigger vision.
Yeah.
Than what you're currently building, which means you'll never get to where you're going. So on the day you die, you'll be like, oh, I had that big vision. I don't know what that was the next thing, but I'm about to die today.
Yeah. Well, I think there's I know Tyson Fury's talked about it a lot. I think Tony Bellew might talk about it a lot as well, about like when they referred it to obviously being heavyweight champion of the world, for example, but it's about achieving that number one thing that you couldn't imagine achieving anything more than that. And then you achieve it and you go, what's next? And I feel like there's a lot of correlation in that back to people thinking that they can't do it because somebody's already doing it really good.
Yeah.
But in reality, when you start and you pick up those lessons that you've done over 19 years, eventually you get there.
Yeah, 100%. And even with that, though, that's a good lesson in itself, the fact that people like boxers get to, like, if they get to the height of the pinnacle of that sport and get to become the champion, you're not really going to be champion in your 40s. There are obviously examples of it, but most of them are going to be in the 30s. Even in the 40s, they're pretty much not even halfway through their life. You know what I mean? So that just shows you that you can get to some big heights, but then what's after that?
Do you think there's, from a personal development standpoint, for you, like as a human, not a business owner, do you think there are steps or things that you should be doing to avoid that? Or do you feel like some highs are that high, there's not really much you can do to balance it out?
No, I mean, I think everyone should be, I mean, I'm not telling you what they should do, but people who want to achieve stuff should be going all their effort to get the thing that they want to achieve. But the thing that's more important is, what's the mission that you're on? Why are you doing it? Because if you're trying to be like, if you like to win, that's like an internal thing. I love to win. But what I love more than winning is helping people. And our mission and move is to make better human beings. That's the mission of our company. So everything we do, let's say I say the mission is to have 1 million members globally. Like that'd be a decent like size company to have 1 million members paying a subscription and like globally supporting each other in business. That's definitely like one of our long-term goals. But even if we get to that, you can then go, well, if you can get 1 million, why not 2? And all of a sudden that's like doubling your business. Then why not 10 million? So you'll never stop going. But if the whole point of doing it is to make better human beings, no matter how many people you're helping, even if it's one person,
you're still achieving that.
I'm still feeling good that I've helped that person today. I've helped 5 people today at 20, or if we have got a massive community, we've been able to help 100 or 1 million.
So like Saturday morning, you've impacted 100 lives, 50 lives, whatever it be.
Yeah, and if let's say achieving gold in the Olympics or being the boxing champion or whatever is a certain pinnacle, if you've still got a goal in your head of saying, or rather a mission, my mission is externally to help other people, there's then lots of other avenues to keep going at past that.
So then it sounds like what you're saying is this is where purpose.
That's what ultimately a business mission is ultimately the purpose. It's like that's what motivation is. It's like, what's the reason for doing something? What is the motivator? That's why motivation is that word. And I mean, one thing about motivation is a lot of people tear it down and go, like, motivation will get you where you want to go, discipline will. And that's true to a degree. I've always been the more disciplined place, not motivation. But actually, not having motivation is another sign that you've not actually put the work in to say, why am I alive? What's the point of
the understand?
doing?
So the motivation is the understanding.
Yeah, So the best combination is being totally disciplined, coupled with having motivation. You can imagine what you could achieve. And imagine if you felt boss every day, even when bad things are happening.
And you're disciplined to keep going. Yeah.
So the goal is, what can my motivation be? Because it dips and goes, but actually if you're really good at it, your motivation won't go. I'm motivated every day to help people. Like, I don't need to be disciplined to do it. I just love doing it. And that's it. It's like, that's my mission. So even if I wasn't doing Move, let's say I said, we'll sell that company, the next thing I do will 100% be something to do with how am I helping people? Is it the health? Am I doing fitness stuff? Is it mindset and mental health? Like, whatever it is, it'll be without doubt to help a human being.
Yeah.
That's my personal mission in life. And Move currently, the mission of Move couples with that and aligns. And that's why it's something I can wake up every day and be like, this is boss, let's keep growing, let's keep doing it.
My question there then is, what we're seeing now, and everyone that's listening to this is seeing the current Move and Mark Waldron.
Yeah.
I know you got a business partner as well, which I know she's a great backbone of the business as well, isn't she?
Indeed, yeah.
It sounds like if I wanted to start a business and I was listening to you right now, and I've just listened to your statement of we want to make better human beings, that sounds like a big step from not even starting a business to having a statement like I want to.
Yeah.
So what was the steps that you took from even before starting the construction company? Why did you even start that? But then particularly with Move, how have you gone from saying it was like maybe a fitness-based brand where you were going to sell like activewear and stuff to now helping people in business? How has that looked for you, that journey?
I suppose the start of it really was the very first job I ever had was in a resale shop called Principles. There was the women's shop. The Principles was like the women's shop, then there was Principles for men. And it was in the Arcadia group, which had like Burton's and
Is that like River Island and all them?
Yeah, I don't think River Island were in, but it's those high street shops. And they bought Wade Smith as well. So I used to get like this account card there, then I get like 25% off in Wade Smith and all that. But I worked there, and even though I was part-time, working half the hours of other people, I'd actually get more store cards open than anyone else. Because I remember like I'd worked there a month or something, and they were going through these figures of like, what's the stats for everyone? And I don't know how many people were in the store. Maybe there was all 40 to 50 staff. And like half them were maybe part-time, like me, I was in college at the time. And I remember them just going through the list, like, Mark, you haven't got any this month. And I was just thinking like, any what? Like store cards, like accounts. I'm like, didn't know I was meant to. Like, no one told me. Like, no one literally told me. Yeah, we want to, like, I said, well, what is it? How does it work? And they would explain, like, you get a customer, get them to sign up. If they sign up and use the card there and then, they get 20% off their order. So I'm okay, 20% off. It's good. It's Christmas time. See what I can do with that.
You're already looking at mission.
And I'm just thinking, like, I'm like,
helping
okay,
people.
I can help people. I can make money. There's a target. I definitely want to win. There's a list of people and the winners up there, and I'm at the bottom at the moment. So there's so many motivators to see like opening store cards is great because it covers so many things. And I started to just be like very bold with it with customers. You know, they'd spend like 500 quid. And rather than going like, do you want to open a store card? Because that's what everyone would say. I'd just think like they can save 100 quid here, 20%. Say, do you want to pay 100 quid less? Like, yeah. I'm like, okay, if you open one of these store cards, I can do it in 3 minutes. You get 100 quid off today. Oh, go on then. And it just turned into...
All you've done is reframed it, the messaging of it. I mean.
So without any training of like how to market stuff, that was the natural way for me to think, I'm not selling the thing, I'm selling the benefit, the thing that I know.
So this is the whole feature and benefit thing.
Yeah. I just knew instinctively, you want to save money. And I like saving money, and you're probably like me. So like, if you tell me I can save 100 quid, or only pay 400 quid for me 500 quid goods, then that's not bad. And I just pitch it to them in a certain way where they'd be like, okay, yeah. And I'd get £1 for every one that I opened. So at the end of the month, I get like about 10 a week. So I'd have about 40 quid in my pocket. Bear in mind, back then I was on like £3.95. You know what I mean? Not a lot. And where that went was the store were like, you're doing good at this. You've got way more accounts open than people who are full time. Like, how are you doing it? And then they were like, can you train the staff and just have a bit of a mentor session and, you know, motivate everyone? And I was like, oh yeah. So it was just, even at the age of it, I'm 18 at this point, by the way. I started in that job on my 18th birthday, and just like a couple of months in, started saying like, guys, here's what I say. If someone's got this, I'll say that, and I'll never ever say that. I've heard so-and-so saying that doesn't work. So I'd be giving help, And I was in this like coaching, mentoring role, even as an 18-year-old, and really excited to help other people. Like, if you do what I'm doing, we'll all make more money. Like, you're not taking money away from me because I'm not serving that customer. It's a till with 4 people on. I've just got my customers. Like, if you can open some, you win as well. I want to help you.
Yeah, like you can't open them all.
Yeah, exactly. Like those other 3 customers while I'm with this one are getting served no matter what.
Yeah.
But at least why shouldn't they benefit? So straight away it's like I can help them get a skill which they can then take, and it makes everything good for everyone. Customer saves money, they make money, stores happy that we're winning. So it was just like instantly, that's good, let's pour into that. And then the next job I had, I ended up in a call centre, ended up just being on the phones, but quite quickly learned the system and knowledge, and they'd be like, oh, you seem to know everything about this. You know, it was like Vodafone at the time. Can you not be on the phone today? Just walk around the floor. And if anyone would stand up saying they need help, go and help them. Okay, yeah, so I'll do that. Then it was like, there was a training job up, and I went for that. And there was a bunch of jobs because they were expanding big, got the training job. So every job from like retail, call centre, and leading all the way up to construction, I was in a position of, I'm helping other people here. I'm training people, I'm coaching them, and teaching them skills to just get better. And that led all the way up to, even in construction, I'm running a company, and there's, you know, quite a few subcontractors that work for me at that point. On any given day, we might have like 10 to 20 people on the site, just all, you know, lads everywhere, like over the space of like 2, 3, 4 companies, like a roofing company, electrics and plastering and all this. And a lot of the lads they were great at the thing they did, but they weren't that good at business, or they were okay, but they you know, there was definitely more to learn.
Yeah.
And I just find myself saying like, look, send me a UTR number. What's that? It's like, it's from the HMRC. Who's HMRC? The people you pay all your money to. Like, I'm like, yeah, look, let me help you. And we'd grab a coffee and I'd say, here's a template invoice. It's an Excel spreadsheet, but you know, just send me that. We'd change the invoice number on the top, send it over, and you can track down what you've picked, what you've billed me. And so at the end of the year, it can't be made up. And I'd be showing them some basic stuff. But even as a construction company owner, I found myself in that role of, let's help these do better business, let's coach them. And that's what led into where I was. And then that job we talked about at the start, where like, nasty job, didn't like going there, customer wasn't very good or very nice.
This was in the construction company that job went sour? Yeah,
the one that went sour. At the time I just thought, you know what, I know I've got a good heart, I've got good intentions, I'm not a divvy, I'm nice, I'm fair, everything like I know that you're meant to be as a human. I thought, that's me, and this person's still trying to take and get stuff. Like, you know, we were losing money, and I said, look, quantity surveyors messed up on the job, we've way underpriced, but we're still going to stay and do the job, which looking back, it was a stupid thing to do, but you learn. And even then, she'd still try and go, well, can't you knock anything off the money? And we're like,
you're already losing.
We're already literally losing money. Are you sure you want to be asking me if I want to knock more money off? And she didn't care. She's like, oh yeah. And then something went missing one day. She had the keys, by the way, and her mum, but a toilet went missing, worth about 150, 200 quid. And they blamed us, but every night we'd like lock the door and take a picture, come in the morning, the door's wide open, because like they had cats in the house while we're renovating it. They didn't live there, that's how big the job was. They took it off our bill for them coming in, and it's like, well, we wouldn't take our own toilet, which we've got it installed, which you're going to bill us for, so it's not us.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, it is what it is. But I learned a lot, but at the time I'm thinking, like, what am I going to do here? I'm not doing construction forever. Because the only way these jobs really work well is when I'm on site and I control everything. This particular one had been other people running it, like site supervisors, and that's where a lot of the issues have come from. But that was just poor leadership on my part, assuming they could run the job, and they couldn't. And so I thought, what am I going to do? And I look back at like, what am I good at? What do people come to me for? What advice do I give? What do people always call upon me for? And it was always just asking for advice. Hey Mark, you've got loads of business. What can I do? And I give them some business advice. Or hey Mark, you've been going to the gym for years. Like, what should I be doing to get fit or stronger or this? Give them like fitness advice, even though I'm not a qualified PT or anything. Then it'd be about like mindset. You know, you're never in a bad place. You know, you can, something bad can happen today and you'll be like, whatever. It's like, don't care. Like, how do you get that frame of mind? So everything that someone needed from me, it was always like, Mark, I'll know. I was almost like the go-to guy to get some advice. And I remember thinking, like, I'm not a millionaire. I'm with the best physique in the world. There's like all these things, and I'm not the best at these things, but people must see me as I've achieved at least a certain level that
Yeah.
I'm worth asking.
And you're approachable.
Yeah, so I just thought the other way around, why have I got to at least this level, which is still nowhere near where I want to be? Why are they not there? Why are they still down there and want to get to there? Like, how has that happened? And it come down to me thinking, okay, physically, how have I ended up with like a decent physique, strong, I can deadlift a lot, I can do this, I can do that. Well, I've gone to the gym and I've worked out, I've physically moved. What about my business? Well, I've got all the business I could ever hope for, way too much. I've got a pipeline of business, more than what we can actually do in construction at the time. That's happened because of keeping on moving in my network and keeping on moving in my knowledge in business and making mistakes and keep going. So keep moving. And then my knowledge in who I am, always listen to podcasts, always personal development.
Bettering yourself, yeah.
Everything to like keep, like, how can I be better? Always moving. So I kept thinking, I'm just moving in all these areas of life. That's how I've progressed, by moving. Because the opposite would be to stay still and be stagnant.
Yeah.
If you don't do anything, nothing happens. So I thought the secret is to just not be doing nothing, it's to be doing something, which is to move. And I thought, I'll have a t-shirt brand with Move, and Move will represent, if you've got that t-shirt on, you're the person who thinks,
Yeah.
I'm a mover. I keep going in all
Yeah.
my areas of life, in my relationships, my knowledge, my fitness and health, my business or my job, whatever it might be.
Like a symbol of...
Yeah, it's like I'm someone that has that attitude of I always keep moving, I don't give up. And that was going to be it. And I designed the, I might even be able to find it out, I designed the Move logo, but not the way it is today. And it was, there was a few different versions, and I ended up drawing a version of it. My wife also did a version, and they were the same version, basically. We were like, oh yeah, I came down one day and she, like, if the camera can pick it up, there was like Move Athletic. There was just Move with a little V, because I thought I want that V in there.
Yeah.
Like just different versions, and then I even put it onto a t-shirt so I could see what it looked like.
Yeah.
And that's, there's like me just with an example of that's what it could look like. That's from
It's crazy to think that
February 2018.
But again, an example of moving is that now that business isn't the way you intended it to be, is it? It's
100%,
actually...
yeah. It's arguably a better brand than what it was intended to be.
Well, if your purpose is coming back to creating better humans, having impact, then it is in a better position, isn't it?
The goal there is, or the thing with that is, you can have a mission, but the way to achieve it can be, there's lots of pathways. So it could be design a fitness brand that people want to wear and they become better. But that'll probably be more for fitness rather than like people doing better in the business. You wouldn't put a t-shirt on and go, right, let's be the best in business today. I'd like to think I could make that happen, but in Move, when I did networking for the first time, and all these business owners like together saying, oh, I've just met them and they taught me this, and then feel good because I got my steps in. And I remember thinking, like, this networking thing has got all of the characteristics of what Move is meant to be about, because you're physically moving, so there's the fitness element, you're in nature and sometimes it's raining or it's pitch black and it's cold, so there's the mental side, the resilience, there's the community and the relationships, being around other good people, there's mentally and physically just everything involved in it. You're doing business, your business is getting better because of the relationships and your networking. So thought every area of life, you're getting better and moving. So that word Move, networking represents all that.
Yeah.
So I thought I'll call it Move Networking, not just networking. And then applied like that brand to it.
Which was the arrow.
That's it. And then
the V,
in the end, it ended up like, why don't we just have the V on its side and that can be the arrow, like keep going type of thing.
Move, keep going,
And
move forward.
And that's how Move Networking and the brand Move became the brand.
Yeah.
Which has gone from just walking to, lots of other things.
There's a lot of other arms to it now, isn't there? In actual fully fledged business coaching and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, we've got. There's obviously networking is the thing that a lot of people see, because it's easy to show that because it's physical. I can interview people, like what people see. The online stuff is on a Zoom call, and it's called Move Virtual Boardroom. So it lets business owners and professionals come onto a call for 90 minutes on a Wednesday morning at 7 and 10 o'clock on a Thursday, just to check in. And there's an agenda. It's like you're guided through. There's a host on the meeting, but they will basically guide everyone to get to the point where each person gets maybe 4 or 5 minutes to say, what's your challenge this week? What's your big challenge or your goal? What can we help you with? Fire away. And then they got 5 minutes or so just to say, here's my next big goal. Here's what it is. What do you reckon? Any help, any guidance, any advice, any ideas? Or some people might say, look, it's crap at the moment. I've got 3 clients owe me $1,000 each or 10 grand each or whatever. It's like, my cash flow is terrible. How do I sort that? And then no matter what the question is, social media, cash flow, systems and processes, mindset, personal stuff, anything goes on those meetings. And then people come away saying, I feel good. I've been given good advice. I've even listened to everyone else's questions and they were very relevant to me anyway as a business owner. So I've learned from the answers to them. So I'll now take away things from other people's problems and implement it in my business before I actually have that problem. So I'm now not going to lose the time and money because I've learned from other people. And that's why those meetings are so valuable. And then outside that, you know, myself and Andrew coach larger businesses. We go into business that might turn over a good few million and teach them all about the stuff we do, which is leadership and systemization and just branding, social media, all that type of stuff. Anything that makes the business better, we can assist them with. And then any nuanced stuff where it's not our forte, we will then bring in, you know, someone might need a website or SEO or whatever, paid ads, and we might go, right, here's someone you need to speak to and refer you. You know, that's how we work. And then I've recently started doing coaching for social media to show people how to get.
Yeah, I saw the event that you did with Jay, actually. It was a free event.
That was a free event, yeah. So we did that as a one-off just to say to people, like, look, come along, we'll give you some tips. And then what happened was what I knew had happened. Did the Pareto principle, 80-20 rule. 80% of the people come, got advice, but didn't really do much with it. 20% of people come, and we gave them advice and said, start posting every day, start doing this. You're never doing that type of content, start doing that. And they've gone away and done that. And of those people, they've come back to us going, hey, that's working, that's working. So it's like the people who put the work in, which is only 20% or so, it's worked. So, and off the back of that, I thought I need to be offering me one-on-one services to people. So I have like a 3-month coaching program that someone can just sign up and they've got me in the corner for 3 months. Is that
one-to-one?
It's one-to-one, twice a month for 3 months. So 6 sessions. Twice a month we do a group session online, so just anyone that's currently doing it can just jump on the Zoom call.
So again, because like you said before, like other questions, you might not be your question, but the answers might still be suitable. And
that's what's happened. We've jumped on and someone said, hey Mark, I keep struggling with this title thing. How do we get the title on, and how do we do a white background? And I'm like, I'll show you. And I'll just hook my phone up to the screen and go, I'm tapping that, I'm doing that. And everyone's like, oh, is that how you do it? Okay. So I'm like showing in real time and everyone's learning.
And these are really simple things that a lot of people just assume that everyone knows.
For me it's so basic.
Half the time that's actually what's going wrong rather than these bigger problems.
That's it. Sometimes the most basic things are like what people need to know. And in my head it's like, well, I've known that for 30-40 years, so
it's easy to overlook, isn't it, when you're in that position?
I went to a school the other day. I go and speak in schools and help kids with, like, you know, just go in and volunteer. And I went in to this one in Kenny, like Shield Roadway, and there was about 30 kids in there. But the stuff we talked about was about, you need to become a networker. You know, you need to, I did like a session with them saying, hey, what if you want to get on in life, what type of person would you want in your corner? Let's get the characteristics of that person. And we got one of the kids get up to start writing on the board. We'd want them to be loyal, we want them to be helpful, this, and you end up with like 15 different like types of traits or values of the person. But just like teaching them that and letting them see, it was massive. And I thought they're now going to go on to become like, and I said, you need to make sure you're that person as well, by the way, because you're going to be helping everyone else in this room and further afield when you've got a business or a job. So it was nice to do as well, and just help other people.
Again, helping people. It's been there from the start.
Everything comes back down to, it's like I've had people message saying, like, oh, can we sponsor your event? Like even years ago when I was on LinkedIn, can I sponsor your networking events and I'll pay you? It was like, I think back then, like 500 quid a week, like $2,000 a month. I thought, okay, what do you do? We've got van trackers and stuff like that. And I was like,
not really use.
I said, it's nice to know that I could just get $2,000 right now on an event that makes me no money. It actually costs me money to run the events. And we don't make money from it, and you're offering me $2,000 a month. Just to say at the end of every video, sponsored by so-and-so. That's all they wanted me to do. I was like, but it doesn't align with the business. And it's not helping people become better human beings. So if we're going to have someone that we have sponsoring us, it might be more of a fitness brand or something with nutrition or a business-related service like Zero account software or something. But if I'm going to attire the business to me, it's got to be in line with our
mission. It's got to be tasteful as well. It's got to be tasteful.
It's got to be in line with what we're doing. So we've got our first ever sponsor for our network event we're doing on the 15th of May. Last month we did our first network event. just under 50 people there. It was good events. And we thought, let's get a sponsor this time. Because even though we can make a little bit of money with it, it actually enables us to keep the event free, but it gives a shout out to that business.
Yeah.
And it's a lady called Jo Howarth, and she's one of our members, and it's called the Happiness Club, and it's about helping people with stress and anxiety and mental health within workplaces and other places, and it's all online. So I thought that's aligned with what we do.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to like say yes to that. That's an example of going with staying on mission.
You mentioned a few times about like you're clearly very value based. Boundaries are in place, values are in place, both business and personal.
Yeah.
Sounds like you've always had that thread of helping people. So in the world that we live in with social media these days, how does it feel when people don't take that the way it's intended, that you're helping people? How do you take, because when you put yourself out there, I feel like this is a big message for anybody that is scared or doesn't know what it looks like to put themselves out there, which is the starting point, isn't it?
I think
how does it help? How does it feel when when you don't get the right response from that?
Yeah, it's frustrating. It doesn't happen often. Recently, there's been a few bits of content, like, you know, having a bit of a laugh about networking, which a lot of people have seen.
Yeah, I've seen it. I also seen your interactions on it as well.
And that's where I'm going with it. My response to that type of content, and to be fair, the content itself is not like the bad thing. It's the people in the comments making assumptions and then going, like some of them are like people saying, can't believe this guy charges vulnerable people to walk in a park. As if I was standing there saying, hey, if you want to get in the park, pay me some money.
Some up machine.
Especially if you're vulnerable. Like, that's like, well, that's not what we do.
Yeah.
So it's annoying that someone genuinely thinks that's what we're doing. And all I can do is just, one, assume that someone with that way of thinking is clearly not in a good place in their life. Because if you're like us, if you've got a business and you've got stuff to do and you've got stuff going on, the last thing you've got time for is to be negative. That's the first one. Certainly not sit there on social media like having a dig at someone. If anything, if you did think something was wrong, you'd be productive with it and say, mate, I've seen this as a suggestion, maybe do this to improve it. And you'd be like, you'd approach it productively. So all those people are not my type of people anyway, so I'm not really bothered what they say. But also, my response to people is important. So even on like that post where, you know, the guy said like, it's 200 quid a month or something like for a membership to walk in a park. And I just commented saying, I said, I'm putting the price up to 250, like as a joke. And that's had like hundreds of likes. And that's all you can do. Take it with a pinch of salt and not be bothered what people say. But ultimately, the amount of people that have ended up DMing me saying, "Hey mate, I've actually got a business and I've seen this content, but so how does this work? Is there a charge?" And they're genuinely like how does it work?
Genuine interest.
I tell them the truth and go, no, you can come along for free. It's like, doesn't cost anything. We've got a business club that you can pay for. It takes a lot of time and effort. That's why there's only 15 quid a month. Like, come and get involved if you want, but don't pay any money. Come to networking and see if you think it's for you. And that's it. And they're like, oh yeah, it sounds good. And then they come along. So just by sticking to my values, sticking to what the truth is, the right people eventually find out the truth, even if it's 3 years on, or whether it's next week. Eventually, one day they might be in a pub or in a bar going, oh, have you seen that divvy? He charges people. Someone will go, no, he doesn't. Yeah, he does. It's like, no, look, here's what he does. And they'll be like, oh, I didn't know that. I've been thinking for 3 years.
And hopefully there's a lesson in that for everyone, isn't there?
Yeah. I mean, anyone can say any lesson from any sort of piece of content online. And generally the lesson will be a reflection of person's mindset there and then. You know what I mean? So it's like, you can't, it's a bit like people say about having money making you happy, but what most people say, which you feel is going to be the right answer, is if you're already a good, happy person, you'll probably be even happy with loads of money. But if you're depressed and you're a divvy and you have more money, you'll be more of a divvy.
But again, it comes down to foundations, doesn't it?
Yeah. Foundations, knowing yourself, knowing your values and sticking to them. As long as you know what you're doing, it's the right thing, then you keep going with it. And the right people will see that. The right people will see it. And that's your job really is to focus on one person at a time in business. Like, are you really helping that single person to be getting what they need from the thing you're offering? If you can, they'll become a raving fan. They'll tell someone else. My job right now is to really move into such a place that people go, that's amazing. I'm going to tell someone, I've got to get my mate into move. That's the goal. I'm always thinking, how do we do that? Because we're definitely not at the level I want to be at. but I want to be at the level where it's like, it's undeniable.
Yeah.
People come and be like, this is boss. I'm coming back. And I'm telling more people to come back.
Yeah.
And then we keep people like happy.
And that's why I asked you the question, to understand that from you coming out of your mouth now, that I was sat there thinking, God, if anyone thinks that there's any underlying motive, negative motive, that must be hard to deal with. So it's interesting that the way you framed it though at the start, your response to it was, I think a lot of people would expect in your position to go, well, he's a muppet for doing that, as in the person that's created the content. But actually, you didn't even talk about that person. You just went straight in at the comments. The people that have put fuel on the fire.
Yeah. I think people make mistakes, or people do stuff where they look back and go, actually, maybe I shouldn't have done that, or I should have done a different version, or, you know, in hindsight, things are easy, isn't it? And I've looked back at content. The very first video, or not the first video, but one of the first videos I put on the internet there was a lad in the gym who, I don't know, I'd never spoke to him in my life. I just see him now and again. This is like, I don't know, 20 years ago nearly. And he'd do cable crossovers proper, like, he'd go out, look like he was going to snap his muscle. And I was like, we used to like sort of laugh about it. We didn't say nothing to him or nothing. And then one day I just remember thinking, like, I'm getting a video. Got a video of him. And I put it on YouTube saying how not to do cable crossovers. So you can't see the guy's face, it's from behind. Now these days, I wouldn't dream of doing that type of content. It's just, that's not a good thing to do. But that's what I did 20 years ago. And that video's still on the internet now.
Yeah.
I haven't took it off, because I'll leave it there as an example of, like, you don't do that. But that's me. Like, I did that type of content 20 years ago, or thereabouts, 2007. And so people can change and make mistakes and get better. And that's the thing. Like, in 2000 and maybe 15 years ago, I was working on like the doors. And I remember one time, this lad, he'd obviously been taking drugs, and, you know, me and my mate are doorman in Mood, and he's in like the back area, if anyone ever remembers that. And he was trying to light a cigarette, but it was the wrong way around. That's how Offa said he was. He was trying to light the ciggy, and I was like sort of filming him, going, "Are you right there, mate?" Like that, just a bit of a joke, nothing too heavy. But then the lad who's with me, he goes, "Mark, move." I moved out the way, and he literally sprayed him with a fire extinguisher. And I've got on camera, and I'm laughing, because at the time it was funny, but you think, that's not good. That's not, you shouldn't do that. And that video is still on the internet. Again, I haven't took it down, because it's an example of me saying, like, I'm not perfect, I've done stupid things, but it's stuff that I'm happy to say, that's not right, you don't do that. And then you become a better person, and you live your life with good morals and good.
There's so much life experience that are threaded through everything that you talk about, isn't there? So much stuff. And then the decisions that you make out the back of it are night and day, aren't they?
Yeah, I think every decision you make, as long as if you're someone that either journals or at least reflects on what you've done, you learn from it. And if it either makes you a worse person or it makes you a better person. Because if you look at something and you go, oh yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Yeah. It's okay to make a mistake, but it's not okay to keep doing the same thing. If every week I was on the doors just like spraying people or like taking videos and punching people in the face, like, you just go, you're a divvy. And that's not, I didn't do that. It's like, I remember doing that thing one time, I think, oh, bloody hell, shouldn't have done that. He might have been off his head, but he didn't deserve it. Well, I didn't spray him in the face, but like...
you were there and videoed it. Like.
And it's like, I videoed it. You think, if someone did that now, I'd have a word with them.
Yeah. So,
but that shows you the level you can be at in life to get to. And that's, going back to your original question, people need to look back at, like, no matter where you are today, no matter what content you've made or what decisions you've made, it's okay to just decide, you know what, I'll be a better version of myself tomorrow, or even today. The rest of the day, what can I do that's the right thing? And again, if you've got a mission in life, you would never do anything wrong, because you'd be like my mission, to make better human beings. I'll never do anything that does the opposite of that. It'll always be, is it making a better human being? Even the people who are leaving the negative comments online, sometimes I'll have a bit of banter with them. And it might be 11 o'clock on a Friday night, and I'll be like, I can see you're having an amazing Friday night there with a laughing face. But sometimes, and I'm doing it genuinely, I'll just go, whenever you're ready to improve your life, give me a shout. I'll put in brackets, serious. Like, you DM me and I'll help you. Like, if you said, Mark, I was a divvy and I'm a troll on the internet and I hate it and I need some help, I'd be like, come on. And I'd give them loads of help. Like, no problem.
Yeah. I think what's clear to me, just from what you've been talking about, is there's two things really. One of them is I know people will listen and watch this and get a real insight into, you can see the Mark that we see now and the business that he's built and the advice that he gives and the stuff you see on social media. But they can now see years and years of mistakes, success, lessons, personal development, business development, everything that has compounded to be what you are today. And if anybody out there is either put off starting something or has started something and is comparing themselves to you in particular, that hopefully they can see that that's not something that they should be doing. Actually, what they should be doing is learning from it and seeing that, oh, they're just on their own journey just as much as they've just heard your journey.
Yeah, 100%. The one thing you can't do is you can't get the same results as someone else and be on their timeline, because we all start at different levels. Some people start with loads of money, some start with none, some start with loads of knowledge, some with none, some have made loads of mistakes, so are actually in a very mature person because of those mistakes. Some people haven't made the mistakes, so everyone's at different stages. The main thing is that all you can do is go, I'm going to put the effort in and I'm going to achieve something. And I know that as long as I keep going, I get results. And some of those results, I've got people who are on my social media coaching program now, and some of them are like into the food. I'm like, do what I do food reviews, because some of them do really well. The first 1 or 2 times they've done a food review, they've got better results than what I've got on mine. So they're doing it, they're starting out, and I'm like the teacher. They're getting better results than what I got, and they haven't got as many followers as me. So they're already way ahead of me in that particular type of content.
So what's the message there?
It's that just because you see me or a person on the internet at a level that you like go, that's the level they're at. I'm measuring them based on this criteria, and you thinking, oh, well, I'm not there. But unless you have a go, how will you know that your first piece of content won't trump everything I've ever done? Who's to know? So again, it goes back down to the simple funnel of the bottom of the funnel, the foundation. Move, do something. Go and get going. Make some progress.
Find out for
Make
yourself.
a mistake. Do something good. Go and find out. Yeah. And that's it.
I think we can finish on that. Just before we tie up, I just want to know. I just want to ask you one question. I want to know how you'd respond to it. If I want you to speak to your exact target audience right now. Practice what you preach.
Yeah.
So you know who your exact target audience is in your mind, whether it's for a particular program, your business as a whole. I want you to speak to them now and call out to them. And if they are that person, I want to see how many responses you get off the back of it.
Spot on. Target audience is businesses that employ people. So not, a startup, we can still help. Someone who's self-employed, we can definitely help. But someone who's got a number of staff, at least I would say 10, 5 to 10 minimum, and up to any number. Being in business at least 3 or 4 years. And at that level, they might even be making good money, but they're still not efficient in business. And there's never been one business we've ever gone into where we couldn't help them, where we couldn't spot a load of issues that they were doing, where in their world, everything's hunky-dory. Like, we're making some money, maybe we could be better, but somehow, some way, they bring us in, and we're like, okay, show us this, show us that, show us that. And they're like, there you go. We have one company that nothing was digital. And we're like, as soon as you're digital with some CRMs and this, you're probably going to save like 80% of all your time. What would you do if I told you you only had to work 1 day a week rather than 5? What would you do with the other 4? It's like, so most businesses don't know where they're failing because they're doing it the way they've always done it.
Can't see the wood for the trees type.
So we go in and are like a new set of eyes to say, show me how you lead your team, show me what systems you've got in place, show me your account, show me your cash flow. Are you missing bills? Are you owed money? Everything. Even on that basis, within the first week, we've usually saved people more money than the cost of what we charge for the whole year. Like at least 20, 30 grand we'll save them. Saying, have you got a pension? Have you got this? Have you put money there? No, never done that. I do that. That's going to save you 20 grand in tax. They're like, bloody hell. So there's your money. The money paying us is what you would have lost without us giving you the information. And I mean, we make the business better. So people, the industries we work with, we've got a client in pretty much every industry. So we've had solicitors, engineering companies, people in digital media, everything can work for us. So yeah, clients are running teams of people. We know we can definitely, even just doing orders, don't even have to pay us any money. We'll just come in and say, let's play devil's advocate. they'll see the value.
Let's just stress test a little bit here and see what breaks type thing.
That's it.
That's cool. I think the key message there, what I took from that is, even if you think that there's nothing to fix or nothing can be improved, you'd probably be surprised if you got an external person to dig deeper.
And I'd say the terminology that these business owners use is, I'm too busy for that, I'm off the wall. I've got a full day on, jam-packed. So anything stress-related where it's like, there's a lot to do today.
That's a sign.
That's the sign that like you could probably be making more money with less to do. And that's what we help business owners do. And then with that extra time we find you can either work even more and be even more successful, or you can go and use it to live your life, whether that's spending time with your kids or going to the gym more or playing golf or whatever you want, but use the time to grow your business further or live life, or both.
Brilliant. Well, if anyone wants to see more of that, I'm sure you already know who Mark is anyway on socials, but make sure you follow. What is it? Is it just at Mark Waldron?
Yeah, my socials, Instagram and TikTok, which are the two main ones I use, is just at Mark__Waldron.
Cool. So have a look at that. Networking, I'll definitely be there myself. I know I messed you about it in the past. Networking and obviously the business club and things like that as well to have a look at.
Yeah.
And remember to look at what is actually happening and not what you're seeing on social media. I think there's a lot of lessons in that, so hopefully we get some good feedback from it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, mate. Thanks for inviting me on.
Thanks for coming on.